Hello, and welcome to the Exponential Growth Podcast, powered by Analyst Investors. I'm your host, David Olivencia, co-founder of Analyst Investors, and a passionate advocate for leveraging innovation and technology to drive success. Let's get started. This is Exponential Growth. All right, everyone. Well, hey, welcome to another edition of the Exponential Growth Podcast. I'm your host, David Olivencia, and delighted today to have with us an amazing leader across multiple, not all Fortune 100 companies. We're talking Fortune 10 companies, leading in areas of technology disruption, technology change, automation, in some very, very cool roles, and have seen a lot. And you think you're going to be very excited about the leader that we have with us today, Diego Ocampo. Diego, welcome to the Exponential Growth
Hey,
Podcast.
David. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very excited to talk to you today.
Oh, so excellent. We're gonna have a great time. So, Diego, first of all, I always like to start these podcasts out. Tell us a little bit about you, your story, how you got to where you are. Would love to let our audience hear that.
Okay, well, so first of all, I was born and raised in Colombia. I moved to the US over 20 something years ago to go to engineering school. Then through an organization called CHEP, Society of Society of Hispanic Professional Engineers, I landed a role in Verizon in the network engineering organization. Um, and during my time at Verizon, I spent actually 14 years at Verizon. That's actually where we met, working together. So I performed different roles, starting with the engineering organization, then moved to the supply chain organization, finally did some business development. I was part of the team in Verizon, and I'm talking years ago, that launched the Verizon NFL mobile application.
Oh,
You
wow,
know,
that's right.
today it's normal to watch live content on mobile devices, but this was the first time that NFL fans were able to watch live NFL games on a mobile device. So I was part of the team that launched that. I think about 12 years ago. Um, then in 2017, after 14 years working for Verizon, I received a LinkedIn message from Amazon talking about a new organization that was developing autonomous drones. That
Wow.
got me that got me very interested on what was going on there. I started the interview process. I started the meeting the team, and I realized that the potential of drones at the time, and decided to leave Verizon and join Amazon.
And
Um,
this was roughly how long ago? Because I mean, drones are they're kind of big now, but this was a while ago when drones were just kind of starting. What year was this roughly?
so this is 2017. So we're
Okay,
talking
so
about
they're barely out there. I mean, drones are like, the kind of hear about them. Not like we heard like 3 or 4 months ago with all the drones over New Jersey and stuff like that, right?
correct, correct. At the time, I wasn't even aware that Amazon was attempting to do parcel deliveries using autonomous drones.
Yeah.
So that's something that got me very interested. I decided to take the jump, leave Verizon, leave New Jersey, move to Seattle. Um, so we ended up moving to Seattle. I work on the autonomous on the primary team, supporting the development of the drones. That was very interesting, very eye opening. I got exposed to quite different, a lot of the technologies. I had a great time with this team. Then I was offered an opportunity to join the team that was introducing electric delivery vans. Amazon had purchased over 100,000 delivery vans from Rivian, and they asked me to come and join the team that was supporting the introduction of the vans within the Amazon fleet. Um,
Got it. So they buy these vans from, and these are interesting, like the way they're structured and cut out. But they cut the deal with Rivian. They buy these vans, and then you're brought on to help them figure out how do they most efficiently throw them into the supply chain, right?
Correct, correct. So it's pretty much a Amazon design of the bands.
Yeah.
We Amazon just buys the this what we call the skateboard from Rivian, um,
Uh-huh.
and those are being used. I think we have Amazon has over 20,000 delivery vans on the road right now, delivering packages, tens of tens of thousands of packages every day, as you can imagine.
Yeah. I think I
Using
see one as I
electric.
look out my window. I see one driving by me. They're out there all the time.
Exactly. So the fleet is moving towards electric doing deliveries using electric delivery vans. So that's something very interesting. Then after that was being completed, I ended up getting in touch with a very small team at the time called Amazon Project Kuiper. Um, and Amazon Project Kuiper is an Amazon organization that is developing and launching, because they're in the process of launching low Earth orbit satellites to provide connectivity worldwide. It's going to be a fleet of 3,236 satellites that will be providing connectivity worldwide.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that now, and where was that? Where was that when you took that role? Where was that role at?
So that was in Seattle.
Okay, that
Um,
was in Seattle as well.
and actually they were looking for somebody to do partnerships with telco providers, um, and of course the first one was Verizon.
Yeah.
So I ended up working with Verizon, and create a partnership that is public now.
Yeah.
um, and after the Verizon, I was able to get another partnership done with Vodafone, and then after that, I got an opportunity to leave Amazon and join a startup. That was something that I was always that was always on my mind, right? Join a startup, wearing the different hats,
Oh yeah.
seeing Amazon is a very very fast pace,
Yeah,
um,
yeah, yeah.
and the
It's like the
startup
biggest, it's a
was
big
something recent.
startup. It's a big startup, right? I mean,
Correct,
it's big, but it's a big startup as well.
correct, correct. So I joined the startup. I joined as a director of technology partnerships. I joined the startup. I was with them for 2 years, until until Amazon called again. There was an opportunity for within the supply chain, and the Primer team. Primer was the team developing the drones. So I joined this organization about a year ago. And about 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, I took a new role in the global corporate procurement organization, leading an AI tool that is automating procurement processes within Amazon. So, in a summary,
Yeah, a lot.
that's the last 20 something years of my life.
Well, and it's always somewhat at the forefront of different technologies, right? Whether it's mobile and video and how it's used in the NFL, the drones, right? And when they were just kind of starting out and figuring out what the heck they're going to do. And then they got these vans and how do you implement them in the supply chain, right? And then the big one is like in just the space, right? What we're doing in satellites and satellite communicate. I mean, there's always been some things now, but what the things that are happening there, not only with Amazon, Starlink and others, and I'm seeing it, it's just it's amazing. And then going back right to go back to drones and now automating with AI. So you've had a really good sense of some diverse technologies and this is at scale, right? This is with some of the biggest companies in the world, right? Which is amazing, Diego. So that gives us so now you've seen all these technologies. So if you were to just say, hey, when I think of all this a history of disruptive technology, what I see today, when I see in the future with these, what's the two or three big technologies that you think these our listeners should just keep on their mind and be aware of?
Well, of course, everybody's talking about AI, right? AI and machine learning. That's something that we have been working on for a long time. But this is something that definitely is gonna revolutionized a lot of industries, right? From healthcare to finance, education, manufacturing, supply chain. There's going to be a lot of disruption in those industries. So that's something that everybody should keep in mind. Um, Something else that is coming, still, I think, on the earliest stages, but I see a big opportunity is going to be quantum computing, right?
Mhm.
With quantum computing, we're going to have the ability to solve very complex problems that today we're not able to solve yet. I think there's gonna be also a revolution on different fields, like for drug discovery, from financial modeling, climate predictions. So I think that's another technology that we need to keep in mind. And the third one, which is I think combines or couples everything that we've been talking about, is advanced robotics, because we the integration of artificial intelligence, all the machine learning that we're experiencing. I think there's going to be a wider variety of fields that are going to be adopting these advanced robotics, like again healthcare, agriculture, logistics, right? We were talking about drones earlier, and that's a big opportunity to integrate on your logistics businesses.
Yeah, I know that, and I've seen, I've invested in companies, and then it's like whether, and then it's drones and it's intelligence and it's, I invested in this company called Cargo Sense, and they do sensors, right? But they can detect, temperature, tilt, shock, humidity, all these. So you're getting intelligence throughout the supply chain, or as you're moving things around as well. And these robots, I did a post on social that they're cutting grass, they're shoveling snow. You don't have to worry about that in Texas. Well, actually, you do have to worry about that in Texas,
Right.
by the way. But it's amazing. And then I did another post. They're the capabilities just keep getting better, right? So they had this one robot. The robots can now run 10 10 meters, 10, they can run 100 meters in roughly 10 seconds, right?
Right.
And
Yeah.
and my point is, it only gets better from here. Like the technology will only get better, cheaper, faster, and they're going to be able to go, even faster, right? And humans were, it's going to be hard. We keep improving, but it's very marginal, right?
And I
So
think it's key what you just said, David, that the technology is not only getting better, but it's getting faster and it's getting less expensive, right? Every time there's an advancement on these type of technologies, there's a cost reductions that drive adoption. So that's something that's why at least I believe on a personal level that is going to be very widespread.
yeah, it's amazing. And then, as this is why I think the podcast is here. It's like, okay, so all this stuff is happening. Well, how do you best use these trends and what's happening to, get maximum return, right? And so now, and talking about that with investments, so these are some great trends. Now, how do you look at investing in this environment? How are you thinking about investing? What are you investing in? What would you, recommend or ask or tell our listeners to, as they think about investing, to take advantage of these trends?
Well, so something that we need to be aware and we need to make sure that we understand very well is that these opportunities come with a lot of potential, with a lot of opportunities for a high return on investment. At the same time, it comes with a very significant risks, right? So when you're investing on this type of technologies, you need to make sure that you diversify across industries and across companies, right? Don't that's the old saying that don't put all your eggs on the same basket, right?
That's good. Yeah.
But definitely, something else that you need to be aware of, understanding the technology life cycle. There are some life cycles that are short, with a lot of high potential. There are some other cycles that are longer, but could even have a better potential, right? So you need to make sure that you understand that very well. Um, but yeah, I have been doing. I participated with with Angelus. I had the fortune of participating on some investment on some very interesting opportunities. So definitely recommend that people look into that.
Yeah, and I mean, look, and there's there's startup investments, right? High risk, high return. There's public investments, right? That still, there's a lot of risk and return on those as well. So there's like a spectrum of where you can invest in some of these technologies. And I think even also, and you're seeing it too, is you're there's a lot of listeners who are in companies right now and they got to make investment decisions. Do we invest in AI? Do we invest in drones? Do we invest in automation? Do we, where and how do I allocate resources to win, right? So I think
All
this
right.
this is and it's only going to get more competitive, and technology is only going to continue to dominate, continue to grow, scale, be better, less expensive, faster, etc. Okay, so the other part of this, so Exponential Growth Podcast, what are the trends? How do you best invest in these? And then how do you lead? So when you think about leadership, leading, you've been in a lot of, at senior levels in Fortune, very senior levels in Fortune 10 companies. What are some just, couple things that you'd say like to our listeners, and just a couple leadership principles or the big leadership principles that you'd recommend that they think about in this environment of exponential change?
Well, so within Amazon, most of our decisions are driven through the Amazon leadership principles. I think one of that is more important for me and for most Amazonians is being customer centric, right? Being focused on the customer, understanding how you bring value to the customer. I think is one of the most important. Another one is a bias for action. Everything that you see an opportunity at, everything that you see a problem, taking action, seeing how can you help, what can you do, how can that problem be solved. Um, Within that regards, also trying to make sure that you are sharing the knowledge that you gain, right? Being
Hmm.
somebody that is open to sharing, that is open to contribute to not only your goals but the goals of other organizations. I think that's key.
Yeah, those, I think this whole I mean, think about Amazon, that's been like their since the beginning, just obsession, understanding the customer, solving their needs, anticipating what they're going to want, right? The recommendations, and always thinking about that. And then I love the bias for action. I've come across this in my career. So a lot of people who talk about things, they say, "Oh yeah, oh that's right, we should." Or, "Oh, that's a great idea. Wow, what if we?" You hear a lot of that, but this whole, okay, great. Well, are you going to take action, or are you just going to talk about it, right? And experimentation, right? Which is another.
Right.
Yeah, take it, try it, make mistakes, right? And you got to make some mistakes. I think there's a quote. I think it's by Jeff Bezos. It's if you're not making mistakes, you're not innovating enough, or something like that, right? You're not
And fail fast, right?
yeah.
If you're gonna fail fast, do it.
Fail fast,
It's
learn.
part of the learning opportunity.
Right,
Um,
and it's not easy. Like a lot of cultures, it's like it's not. People don't like to fail. They don't like to be. They're embarrassed by it. It's career limiting. So that, yeah, those are really good insights and also the other tenants that Amazon has as well. Well, Diego, I want to thank you for sharing your insights, your perspectives here. Where can our listeners keep up with you on social, or how do they keep up with you on social media?
Normally, I'm very active on LinkedIn. Definitely, LinkedIn is the best networking tool that we have. I need to be more proactive because mine is a little outdated. I need to work on that. I'll definitely carve sometime this quarter to update it. But definitely, LinkedIn is not only a great a networking tool, but also a good opportunity a good tool to keep up with your contacts. And I think personally, one of my personal beliefs is that the greatest treasure that I have from my career is the contacts that I've been able to create during my 20 something years of professional career. And LinkedIn allows me to keep in touch with everyone. So definitely, that's the best recommendation I can give you.
Ah, that's great. Well, hey, make so those who are listening, connect with Diego on LinkedIn. A lot of, just a diverse, strong technology background and some amazing companies. Diego, again, thank you. Thank you for participating in this Exponential Growth podcast. Look forward to staying in touch, my friend. Have a good one.
Wonderful. Thank you, David.
All right.
Really appreciate your time.
All right.
Thank you.